Hello and welcome back to another devlog. This is devlog number 15. So started off this week working on aim assist in the project, and it took some doing to implement. I had to implement a new paradigm because the aiming, it's different from aiming from cover, and I had to kind of adapt the the solution where I was aiming to get cover points into this new solution. So after applying previous solutions, I slowly coaxed it to get it to do what I wanted it to do. So we take a look here. You can see this is another feature here. I'll discuss that later, but you can see how I'm aiming and it kind of sticks to the target. So the rays actually, it slows down, and see how his body actually, the torso actually kind of, his player position is in one direction, but his torso is kind of aiming and sticking to the target within a certain range. So now when you're close enough, it'll actually, within a distance, if you're far away, then it won't do anything. It'll just be normal. But if it locks on, it'll kind of stick within a range. So that's the aim assist. Took some doing to get it to work. A lot of testing, a little bit tricky to do. Here's the new. I added a assault rifle here, and let's turn these off. And I had to set up all the poses for cover, for running, walking, all that. I had to set up the new. So I switched the particle effect. I used a new particle effect for the pistol. I'll probably show that later. But I switched it over to using the plasma pulse for this one, and there's so it's pretty good. I chose this rifle from all the other rifles and do a lot of work here. I basically had to redo what I've done already with the pistol, and there's a lot of different things setting up the projectile, there's like 100 different things. So I took notes this time in case I wanted to add another weapon later on down the line, so I kind of know the process. So also I did a fix to allow a little functionality to allow you to now stealth with your weapon. So now the weapon is actually able to stealth as well with everybody else. What else did I do? So that was Monday and Tuesday. On Wednesday, this week I had some calls for interviews kind of distracting me. I had to do an interview here and there, but I still got a lot of work done on that day. I ended up closing the player features epic sprint and merging that back to main, because all the features that I wanted to do for adding new stuff to the character midweek. So from there, I kind of looked at my to-do list, my Kanban board, and put together another epic of things I wanted to accomplish in this next sprint. And it basically focuses around systems features, so not like player or enemy, but actual system features like audio systems. So and then adding game UI, like when you load the app, adding a start screen, adding an end screen, and adding a pause screen UI, just a basic framework that you can work with. So actual game architecture, that the framework that the game, the scenes sit within. So starting to build that out. Part of the sprint, I also want to do some sort of basic saving and loading framework functionality. So I have to do a bunch of testing. I have a lot of ideas, and I bought some packages to help assist with that. But that's gonna take some testing to implement just a basic framework that I can build on. So I removed the old the free hot reload framework. It was kind of janky. It kind of worked, but not really. It worked when it wanted to, and I replaced it with this new hot reload framework that I paid for. It's like, maybe this will work better and it'll save me a bunch of time. So far, the same thing. It's not really a silver bullet. It seems to kind of take the app a little bit longer to load in between. It always has to constantly compile and stuff. So I'm not sure if it's more trouble than it's worth, but it does work like the other hot reload does when you're doing something simple. If you're changing interfaces and stuff, you have to recompile, but it does seem to work fine if you just change like inline properties. It compiles and works mostly, for the most part. I kind of have to get used to it. Sometimes it's like it's not in sync, and it's like, why isn't this hitting the breakpoints? And I just have to get used to it. Maybe kind of turn it off when I don't need it, just so it doesn't interrupt my workflow. Just trying to figure out how to use it effectively. So as you heard with the gunshot, I was able to start implementing audio systems in the game. So now we're having some sound, which is a cornerstone of any good game, right? That's sound effects and music effects, right? So I started by installing the fmod package and then watching some videos with let's see, let's let him go there. So watching some videos like how to work with fmod on a basic sense. How does this whole thing work? Because I have experience working in Logic Pro DAW, but this is like an intermediary program where you're able to input sound clips and then kind of parameterize them, and then it hooks into Unity, where you can actually tap into them instead of the normal audio system, and it just gives you a more robust set of features where like you can of course play one shots and all that, but you can do things like triggers. And what was really interesting to me that you hear in most games is the concept of dynamic audio, where it's not just one track, same track looping over and over again like background music, but actually changing depending on the state of the game. The game's changing, the music changes as well. That's the idea behind using fmod, and as far as it offers you a lot of other features as well. So as you can see, I was able to implement an equip sound and also a firing sound. So the firing sound, it does a bunch of different clips at the same time, and it kind of randomly selects between each one of them. So it's not just the same sound. This was some sound effects pack that I got for free, which serves a good purpose until I get something better for for basic sci-fi gun sounds. So for the pistol, I'm actually using a different sound. I changed it up. Let's see here. It's actually like that sound. Maybe I'll reboot it and show the pistol, but it's really kind of not too, you know, it's just the pistol just has a different VFX on it now and a different sound, so nothing groundbreaking, I'm not sure. I'll show you that, but so watching more Fmod videos, I wanted to set up a basic I wanted to do the SFX for what happens during the different enemy states. I wanted to do a basic music change, so a couple states. So when you're not spotted, there'll be some sort of like calmer, stealthier music going on, and that's great. But what happens when he spots you? So I had a couple music tracks lying around, and one of them was interesting because they provide you several different versions of the same track, each with varying levels of intensity. And I said, hey, I could use that for different states. You know, I'm gonna try that. Like, how do I do that? And it's a pretty cool rockin'. I had a bunch of tracks, but I like this one. It's kind of like a Doom. It's not really sci-fi, but it's a rockin' Doom track. So I'll show you what happens. So he's searching around, and then I was having too much fun over the week implementing this, just listening to this track. But so basically, what happens? Different states. So he's searching now, and it kind of goes down to the, you know, searching lower intensity. But you know, if he spots you, okay, it's second level intensity. But if you keep hanging around and seeing you, then it goes to the third level of intensity, and it really starts rocking out. Yeah, and then you start hearing it. Yeah, this is a lot of fun with actually the game. So go high, and then see, I don't know what's going on there. We're doing something weird now. Like, there's one state that's still not ironed out correctly. It's the hit attack. So there's some. So if I shoot him, he does attack, and he goes quicker. So there's more work to be done here, but see, I wanted to go faster if he was attacked, so it kind of runs. He can't really run away. I wanted to keep it down. Yeah, so a little bit more polish, but yeah, see how I'm too long. That's where the action combat comes in. No longer stealth mode. Combat now until starts to run away. And it transitions back to not really behaving properly. It's doing a strange thing now that I added the one attack thing. There's something going on there. But anyways, he transitions back to a lower state now that he's kind of lost me. He's doing his search pattern routine now. And the music goes down to a lower intensity. And if he can't find you now, he's just gonna go back to his patrol, and the music's gonna fade out into the normal kind of stealth music. I still have to implement that, but that's basically what I was able to do. So I had to learn how to do several layers, and then do in this program a parameterize for each layer, where depending, so the Unity application is interacting with this, and depending on what the parameter is being controlled in code, it'll actually transition to different layers. It goes all the way up. Full combat, and then back to kind of searching for you, but not really. And then, first level search, and then all the way back off. So that's kind of how it works. I had to set it up here, build it, and then Unity interacts with it. It's really cool, actually. So you can do a lot with Fmod. Not just that, not just basic stuff. So I left it there. I'll have to come back to and fix up the was attack state, because that's not working quite right. But anyways, so on Friday, I finish up that transition work, and I wanted to start adding the basic framework for a start, end, and a menu screen. So moving away from just this prototype scene here that I'm working in forever, and actually sandwiching it between some start and end scene UI to actually have the framework for a game, right? So you can have some game manager, implement some basic game manager logic, like end game cases. When do you transition from the start of the game to the end? To the first level scene to the end of the game, things like that, and then basic pause menu functionality. So basic end-to-end structure for the game. So I downloaded the packages I recently bought and was messing around with those. While I was setting those up, I kind of realized I hadn't actually built the project and pushed it to a Vice this whole time, and that's something that needs to be done, because I can't get farther along and have something go wrong. I realize it's best to do that pretty much after every feature sprint that I commit back to main, just to make sure it's still working. And of course, when I tried to do a build, nothing. Doesn't work on Android for VR. There's a strange error. And same thing on switching over to Windows, trying to get a basic build working for Windows. There's something, there's a strange error where it's like, oh, I can't do this because somebody's trying to, the Unity editor is trying to, import packages or something. So it's like, okay, I gotta, before I do anything else, I have to get these, builds working. So I'm pretty much tearing apart the project and completely nuking files, trying to narrow down, what the issue is, which file, because there's literally like 1,000 instances where Unity editor is being used. So I have to figure out, which packages are the culprit and kind of get it working. So it's going to take some doing, but as soon as I get builds working, then I can add, I can move on, because I can't really continue without being able to make a build. And plus I want to test on the headset device and also on the Windows device. So that's more work for next week. So we'll be working on the systems features sprint, and that's about it for now. It was a good week, and we got some fun stuff done, and I will talk to you guys